Hello, and welcome to the John Ark Show. Today's episode is called Real Estate Dead Zones, Massive Collapses in Regional Home Prices. Before we begin, I want to encourage you to subscribe, like, comment, and follow us. We're going to have a lot of great celebrity interviews coming up, so I encourage you to click on the notification bell so you can be notified every time we upload a new episode. I'd also like to tell you about a service called HollywoodIsCalling.com. It's a great service that allows you to purchase live phone calls from your favorite celebrity. So check it out. It's something you can buy as a gift for yourself or for someone you care about. HollywoodIsCalling.com. Now, let's get started. There is a growing number of people who fear the growth of real estate dead zones. What is that, you ask? Everyone talks about how great the real estate market is in Florida or Texas or Tennessee, but what they don't really talk about is the enormous growth of what are known as real estate dead zones. These are cities and states where there is such a large population of people and homeowners and business owners who've been rendered unemployed or had their businesses shut down for the last year by the lockdown, that it's caused the housing market to collapse in their area. Places like Manhattan, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and many others have become real estate dead zones for many people and homeowners. There may be isolated circumstances and unique cases in those areas where properties still sell, but for most people and homeowners, they are witnessing a massive gridlock as properties sit on the market for a long time without so much as a phone call. First, let's discuss what's causing these dead zones amongst homeowners, home buyers, home sellers, and people in the real estate industry. The first and perhaps most significant reason is the mass exodus heading out of California, New York, Illinois, and similar states, because those areas have made it almost impossible for businesses, employees, and middle-class homeowners to survive. They've literally shut down or eliminated so many companies, restaurants, stores, and jobs that they've vaporized entire industries for almost a year. Now, even if those cities announced today that the lockdowns were completely lifted and it's business back to normal, there's serious doubt that people who've depleted their savings just to try to survive over the last year with no jobs are going to rush out and go to restaurants and bars and on shopping sprees. This growing population of people who've had their savings depleted, just trying to put food on the table over the last year, is in no position to purchase a home. Many of them were previously in a position to do so, but now they've been wiped out financially, and buying a home for them at this point would be the financial equivalent of buying a boat anchor to tie around their necks. Even if some of these people were to suddenly land six-figure jobs tomorrow, we feel that many of them suffer from something called post-lockdown financial trauma, which has left them a little shell-shocked when it comes to the idea of committing themselves to the purchase of another home. This new form of PLFT is affecting their decision-making when it comes to other forms of spending as well. Many of them aren't going to be buying a new car or going on an expensive vacation for a while. What they're going to be doing is viewing all significant and expensive purchase-making decisions with a great deal of skepticism and a bit of fear, because they came so close to going off the financial cliff during the lockdown. There's another problem with real estate dead zones, and that is that once they appear in your area, they're very likely to continue to grow like a cancer. The reason they continue to grow in size is that the only thing that can halt their growth or reverse it would be a sudden reactivation and reopening of a large number of job-creating businesses, but that's going to be very difficult as well. That's because businesses have now learned that many of them can prosper without needing all the office space they used to need. Also, a lot of the retail stores that went belly up for the last year have seen their customers migrate over to online stores and found out how really fast and convenient those services are. For many of these people, once they experience the speed of online product fulfillment and delivery, they have very little incentive to go back to brick and mortar stores. All of this means that there probably won't be a mad rush of store and restaurant reopenings in the near future. And if that's the case, then it will be difficult for many real estate dead zones created by the economic death of many businesses in their area to stop growing and go into remission. The real estate dead zones need businesses to start reopening for the dead zones to go into remission. And if that doesn't happen, then we believe the dead zones will just continue to grow. If the dead zones do continue to grow, then we believe eventually they will gain so much momentum that the fear they cause amongst home buyers and home sellers will begin to contaminate and spread to areas that aren't currently dead zones, but may turn into one. Nothing creates fear like fear itself, and few things are more contagious than fear. If it continues to spread, then it will eventually affect areas where the market is still great and growing, and there's nothing good about that. I believe that one solution here is to have the government do everything it can to bring small and mid-sized businesses back because that's where so many jobs are created. Now, large businesses tend to survive huge economic downturns because they have so many resources and so much cash on reserve, but very few small and mid-sized businesses can survive what's happened over the last year. The next huge problem for many sellers in real estate dead zones is something called intransigent selling. This is where you have home or commercial real estate owners who are refusing to adjust or lower their selling prices to the current situation in their market. Many of them believe that things will turn around, and when they do, they will be able to get better asking prices. I strongly suspect that many of them won't get that higher asking price for the foreseeable future because the economy and the market have morphed into something different now. The current marketplace no longer resembles the marketplace of 2 years ago. First, people's savings accounts and resources have been severely depleted by the last year. Next, there is a tremendous amount of fear in the real estate sector, and this fear is causing a lot of hesitation amongst buyers and sellers, and they are somewhat shell-shocked by what they saw over the last 12 months. The next issue is that a lot of foreign buyers of real estate have been thwarted and kept out of the market by recent regulations designed to prevent foreign criminals from parking their dirty money in the US by hiding it in real estate purchases. A few years ago, there were quite a few apartments and homes in New York and Florida that were purchased by foreign buyers, sight unseen, and then they remained empty and unoccupied because in reality, they were just being used to park dirty money for a few years. New regulations have dramatically reduced the number of foreign buyers, and this has reduced the overall number of real estate sales in many markets. Another phenomenon that's causing the growth of real estate dead zones is a seismic reduction in the amount of discretionary spending that people are exhibiting. Even the least sophisticated shoppers and buyers are now being more careful about what they buy and when they buy it. As people spend less money in general, then that also affects the local economy, and as a result, it has an indirect impact on the real estate market. Having said that, I want to thank our viewers for watching and tell you that we're going to have more great celebrity interviews and more breaking news stories coming up in the future. So we want to encourage you to subscribe to our channel and click on the notification bell so you get notified every time we post a new story. Thank you for watching.